Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me today for this reflection. Thank you for joining us for morning prayer. Very, very wonderfully, it is raining outside. Here in Shelburne, we don't get a lot of rain, and so as of recording this sermon, it's pouring outside. It's awesome to be in, and it's awesome to hear. This morning, we read from the Gospel of Matthew, and we read that passage where the religious leaders, they try to get Jesus to commit sedition. They try to get him to say something that they can take to the governor to have him arrested and ultimately killed. And so they ask him that. It's that famous question of, is it lawful for us to pay taxes to Caesar? And Jesus' response, of course, he knows what they're doing, and he says, show me the coin. Whose picture is on the coin? And they say, it's Caesar's. And he says, therefore, pay unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and give unto God what is God's. Now, those of us in the church, it's not rocket science for us to say, and that's why you pay your taxes, but to God you're supposed to give yourself. You're supposed to give all of yourself. You're supposed to give your heart, your mind, your soul, and your body. And yet, at the end of the day, for me, I end up going down this rabbit hole. And I end up going down this rabbit hole of asking, okay, then why is it that the church needs people to give money? Well, the obvious answer is because we have infrastructure and we have services and we have salaries to pay and bills to pay and we have to put roofs on and we've got to fix buildings, and that's all fine and good. But if God just needs me to give me, then why does he need my money? Why is it that we're still stuck in this place of providing our 10%? Why is that still in our head? Now, maybe it's just my own perspective. Maybe it's my opinion coming to light about how useful these buildings are and whether or not they're being used properly, and all the other stuff that we can talk about as far as a church community goes. Because the rest of the world outside of the church wonders that question. Why does the church need so much money? Why is it that some minister in some mega church somewhere in the world needs his congregation to give them $6 million for a brand new Learjet? Why is it that pastors live in houses bigger than some high schools? And why is it that ministers and priests and religious leaders out there live better than the people they are called to help? These are real questions, and those real questions come out of the fact that, yeah, we're supposed to give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, but we really like keeping our money. We really like money because we're human. We like the security of it. We like the abundance that it provides us. We like that we can thrive with it in this world. But again, why does the church need money? I can't answer that question any more than I've already answered it. But these answers still fall short for me. They do. They still fall short for me. And rather than get into a place where I'm going to try to debate them and I'm going to try to make sense of them, what I want to offer to the churches out there, to anybody in a religious community that happens to be seeing this, whether or not you're praying with us for morning prayer or you happen to see this as one of my daily reflections that I've shared, let's just for a second forget about why we need the money. Let's for a second forget about that whole thing. But let's focus on if we have these facilities, and if we have these staff, and if we have these positions, and if we have these ministries, and if we have all the things that come along with those things, then let us remember to make sure that we are using those things to the absolute best and the fullest of our ability. Let's make sure that we are using them every single minute of every single day to glorify God. People built these wonderful buildings. People built the rectories and the church halls. People built the community centers. And they gave from their own pocket and they gave from their own sweat. They were a gift. And we still pay to maintain these gifts. We need to make sure that we're using them. We need to make sure that the world sees what it is we have. And they don't shake their head or scratch their head wondering why. Without a shadow of a doubt, they see why. They understand that these facilities and these people that we have and these offerings that we make, that they are beneficial to the world, that we as an organization are relevant to the world. That's what I need to do, because I still have a difficult time wrapping my head around some of the things that the church owns, some of the things that the church pays for, some of the things that the church holds up to be valuable and precious, some of the things that the church is willing to continuously invest in, only to have them empty 95% of the week. We need to make sure that everything we are investing ourselves, everything that we are investing our money, our time, and our treasure, our talents in, that those things are being used to the absolute utmost. I've got a good question for you. How could we as churches be using the things we own, the money we have, the time we have, the talents we have? How could we be using those things more? How could we be using those things to give God glory every single minute of every single day, so that nobody ever says, "Oh, what's that building with the big T on top?" May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, and may you know the peace of being in the Lord's presence. And I pray that as you go forward, everything that is in your possession, you are able to use it to its utmost, that you are able to use it to give God the glory. Amen.